Don't blink, it's your boy Hank. Welcome to our show, because we're doing also having a wonderful day on this 26th April 2025. Let's play some tower and film some video. So without further ado, let's go. Wrong application. Wrong application. Don't blink. It's your boy Hank. Welcome to our show. Guess we're doing also having a wonderful day on this 26th April 25. Holy, the airs are a mess. Let's fix that. There you go. We're able to do it now. Soon is gonna be a ponytail, which is gonna equate to us having nice hair, long and short. This is the intro of the day, by the way. You can see the beautiful, and I do mean beautiful, weather behind us. How nice is this, guys? Let's put some music because I like to work with music, and I feel like playing some Akon Lonely because I saw my boys. Oh, this is silly. Saw my boys going to the Montreal Canadian, and yeah, would have loved to go, but hey, what can I say? Gonna go with Lonely Akon. How sappy is this shit? But hey, we're human, right? Somehow, somewhere, we're human. So it's gonna be lonely. So why is it not working? So now, I gotta press the button. Okay. So we'll do this, and we'll do this. We'll also post the video. There you go. Please just work. There you go. Okay, so now, I do believe it worked because we press entered. Not, clicking didn't work. Vois sur ton chemin. Lonely. Lonely. Akon. And then we're gonna do a 1 hour. Then we'll just restart it. We're also gonna be looking for somebody that has very low subscriber count. So for example, my friend Danny over here. You do have 4.89. We're looking for somebody under 8,000. Why? Because they won't have ads on their videos. How crazy is that? Voici... Ooh, Anis Shami. Anis Shanes. Yeah, 15 subscribers. This is perfect. Love this. Love this. It's a cover. It's auto-tune fuck. No, thank you. Hey, let's do something else. Sorry, Shami. I'm sure you're an amazing dude because the dude, he's a teenager, so I didn't want to talk shit about you, dude, but a bit of confidence, you're gonna be able to do it. Let's do, come on, ladies, in 1 hour. Hashtag Rainbow Tattoo Studio. I don't think they have. Okay, they do have. They do have 1.25. So they didn't put a lot of fuck. Okay. Sunita, let's go with Sunita. Sunita with 6,000. But I don't feel like Sunita is the guy to put some ads on his video. So, intro to the 26th April 2025. My day has already started multiple hours ago. So we did a lot. We did we posted a lot of micro nature corn, WTS. So these are every single day. What I'll do is, before I start something new. So for example, in between making content and gaming and making content, I'll go outside, do a micro nature corn. We'll go out, film the outside. We had a lot. Now, I thought it was unlimited short, but you don't have unlimited short, so no, this time my girl wasn't by my side. I swore I was dreaming, I was dreaming. Now I had to take a little ride, backtracking on these few years. I'm gonna do it, you do right. My girl left me. My whole life lay for cash in, and I'm so lonely, lonely. It's Mr. Lonely. Such a good song. So yeah, so we've been posting these. I thought it was short. I thought there was no limits. Now there's 100, so it doesn't matter because we're still gonna be able to post them. But that's something I should have thought about, right? I should have at least tried to do this. So now we reached our maximum, which is crazy, and it never happened. We reached our maximum of upload on the normal channel and the gaming channel. So you know the every single person that says chill. Now the universe is telling you, hey, yo, dude, whoa. But it's good because now we're forced to chill. By side, tomorrow's gonna be a very busy day because tomorrow we might be working for 3 hours, we might be working for 14 hours. So it depends on if we get picked to go somewhere or not. Because we don't have a car, our chances are more limited. But if it does work, your boy has employment for the foreseeable future. Foreseeable future meaning tomorrow. So I don't think it's I think it's more present than anything else, but hey. We'll take what's positive and what's not positive, right? So that being said, we're pretty much done. I'm not gonna be eating because I already ate a lot today. So we're gonna make an hour or 2 hours of videos, and then we're gonna be gaming till I feel like sleeping. And when I feel like sleeping, let's go to fucking bed. Sounds good. Why aren't you recording? Why aren't you recording? I have nobody on my own, yeah. Little lonely, Mr. Lonely. That it wasn't recording, it's recording, but that there's no little thing to tell me, hey, we're recording. Usually you have a little bubble. On the this love. So that's my day-to-day. Pretty boring day, huh? I need to come on home. That's life. Sometimes you're gonna have exciting days, sometimes you're gonna have boring days. That's just the way it is. And today's a bit of a boring day. But when I to the change leaves and I'm so I look sad, but you know, I don't know. There's a day where you're in. I don't know what's going on with me, guys, honestly. I thought it was depression, but we just had a wonderful 2 days. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. Possibly a lot of things. So let's try on fixing that, right? Don't blink, is you blink. Welcome to our show. I'm doing well, so having a wonderful day. Today we're talking about something that we don't talk about on this channel enough. And we're mentioning finance. No, we're talking about ecology problems in the world. No, we're talking about politics. No, we're talking about religion. No, we're talking about sports. Absolutely. By the way, you're gonna hear me sing. We're listening to "Lonely" from Akon, which is weirdly directly related to this video. So yesterday, I was hearing people talk about the Canadian. My accountant came to see me yesterday. Well, not see me, but see my father, and I was there. So he did my father, which is pretty cool. So we were going to do the account, the taxes, or taxes is a good word actually. And then talks about a Canadian. And my father doesn't listen to Aki, I don't listen to Aki, so I'm like, okay. But it was really excited, so I was like, oh, good for you, dude. I went to the whatchamacallit. Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night just to notice that my girl wasn't by my side. Could've sworn I was dreaming her, I was dreaming. Oh, I had to take a little ride, backtracking on these few years. What am I gonna do to make you go right? 'Cause ever since my girl left me, my whole life came crashing, and I'm so lonely, lonely, Mr. Lonely. You see, this video is actually quite nice. I don't tend to plan my videos. Sometimes it just happens, and today it just happens, and it's gonna be super nice. So I went to get my phone fixed, and then the guys were talking about hockey, and I was like, okay. And then because everybody was talking about it, I was like, okay, what's going on? And now I realize that they're in the final, and they're actually really playing well. So I was like, okay, well, it means a lot to a lot of people. So this was a video that I was supposed to do yesterday, and the original plan for this video was to just talk about it, right? To just talk about it. But yesterday, again, depression hit. There's a time where I'm completely paralyzed. Sometimes I'm able to talk and work with you guys. This is a good day. Yesterday was a bad day. And so I go home and I check and I'm like, holy shit, they might win, you know? And I'm supposed to be like, wow, because fun fact, they won the cup. So I'm Canadian. Such an easy pun. I'm Canadian. I'm supposed to support the Canadian. In the world I'd rather be. Ain't no world in the world I'd rather see. And on me for making me so happy when I'm so lonely. I forgot to do the mission. Lone Mr. Lonely. I forgot to do the mission. I forgot to do my dailies. Ink, you suck. You suck not today, but yesterday, not tomorrow. You had a chance to do all of them. Inky. No, dude. Dude, no. What have you done? You were almost at 35. I could have did it this week. Oh, my weekly's on the tower. So now the problem is when we don't do it on one phone, we don't do it on 3 phones. Need to try. Want you to work it out. It's crazy. We started making videos 10 minutes ago, and now the sunset is already done. So the original video, like I said, was to just talk about, hey, I wish I liked sports more because right now we have the politics, we have the election going on. Right, and we're supposed to talk about that, but politics is very it's a very big dividend. We're supposed to talk about finance because the world's going to shit right now. It's a very big dividend. Talk about religion because last week was Easter, which is a religious holiday. With religion was very dividend, but sports is the place where you're supposed to be together, right? And I was like, I wish I cared more about soccer, about sport at all, because I'd be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm happy about it. I'm happy, and this is a good subject, and I can make video about it. I got to talk to a friend about it, right? And then I didn't do the video yesterday, so like, okay, well, they're playing today, so it doesn't matter if I do the video today or tomorrow. And then today I'm on Instagram watching chicks. Because, Instagram is that for that. Wait, it's not? Oh, shit. So we're on Instagram, and I'm seeing my boy Shao. And my boy Shao, it's crazy because he live in downtown. Dude doesn't even buy a ticket to go to the Canadian. He just went to see the everybody together, right? And I was like, holy shit, that's supposed to be something to live, right? And I don't know, just him. It's not like one jealous asshole, but just my boy going there and me not being there and wanting to go there, I'm like, fuck, So once again, you're feeling kind of lonely, right? Woke up in the middle of the night, this my girl wasn't by my side. No, I was dreaming her, I was feeding, so I had to take a little ride. So that made me quite, I don't know, maybe envious, yeah? Maybe envious. But it also made me feel lonely, so that's why we're listening to Lonely today. And then you realize that you didn't talk about him, you didn't know that you wanted to go, so you kind of blame the guy, right? At the same time, it's one of those things that really, really kind of put you apart, right? So when I was a kid, and again, we're talking about my childhood a lot, but it is a blueprint as to who I became. So I always wanted to talk about my subject, which is video games or anime. Back in the 90s, talking about anime wasn't cool. You didn't go to school and say, yo, did you see the last episode of Dragon Ball? You get beat up, right? Maybe not beat up, but still, people will be looking at you like, dude, you good? Need to talk to someone? You're good? Right? Now it's so cool. You'll say, hey, you watching new episode of Boruto? And people be like, nah, fuck Boruto. You watch the last episode of Bleach? Yeah, fuck. I love Bleach, right? Which I love too. And then don't fuck with Boruto. Sorry, Boruto. Like your father better. Your dad was a goat. You're but a lamb to the slaughter. So you realize that because you weren't open-minded enough, right? You possibly there's so many things that I could talk about. You didn't really give yourself the chance, right? I was talking to someone on an application yesterday, and I saw a post about some girl who was looking to. It's a kink website. And I saw somebody that was, she made a post and she said her likes and dislikes, and her likes were really, really hot. So talked to her, right? And then she sent me a picture of herself. And I'm such an asshole because I'm not the greatest looking motherfucker out there. Far from it. But I saw her and I was like, not really. So I told her like, oh, well, long distance not really my thing. And I use this excuse as just like, okay, well, it's not gonna work, right? But then she said, who talked about long distance? Who talked about meeting in real life? And I was like, yeah, but I would like that. And that's not true. And after that, I kind of burned the bridges with her. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? You're stuck in this tunnel, right? And now today you feel lonely because you're in this tunnel. And sometimes this tunnel feels huge, right? Feels like you can park 2 cars. Sometimes it's even bigger. Sometimes you can park 4 cars, right? For example, we were at the election last week, and then I saw this guy sitting next to me, and he had his Fullmetal Alchemist tattoo. So I'm talking about anime, and then there's another guy behind me. I talking about, yo, you talking about anime? And then the person in front of me talked about anime too. So we were like 4 people talking, and I was like, holy shit, what just happened, right? So the corridor is large. And then it feels so small. But you put your corridor that small, then you realize that the corridor is, in this case, yourself. If you want to talk about anime, if they talk about sports, you would have taken out yourself out of the equation. You talk about politics, they would have taken out yourself out of the equation, right? About family, relationship, you would have taken out yourself of this relationship, right? Not because you don't want to, but because you haven't had the experience yet, or you don't have a lot to talk about with that, so you're kind of putting yourself out of the subject, right? If somebody talking about Star Wars, but you're a Star Trek fan, you're like, not my favorite star. It just feels, and the original video was me wanting to brighten my horizon, and that's the original video, but now it's how not brightening up my horizon. And between the two, there's only one day, right? Now, currently we're dealing with a small to medium depression, right? We're not doing super good, but we're not doing super bad, right? So it's not that bad. But if and only if I put in more effort, I would have been able to have a talk with the guys yesterday, and that would have felt good. I would have been able to have a talk with Charles today, and I would have felt good, right? But I'm not able to because I don't know sports, right? Why we're making this video is actually more in-depth and that, more complex than that. So you could just say, hey. Hey. Dude, it's bad. Even yesterday at the cell phone shop, right? At first, they were talking about politics. And then there's a random dude. And even in the politics, I'm like, I don't know much about that. And then there's a dude, a client that came. So the guy had, and he had a devil's hat. Not a devil like the devil, but New Jersey Devil. Or the Chicago Devil. You see, that's how little I know about it. Right? And then it's in a hockey team. And then you talk about hockey, and I was like, holy fuck. And now I was out twice because I wasn't interested enough. So I was giving a chance to be part of the conversation. I was chance to be included. And I was like, nope. And then, I'm not playing victim, but you realize that my circle of interests actually quite low. I like gaming, I like anime. And as again, I talked to you guys about the website that I'm going to meet someone, because we're lonely. We're making another video about that. People, I'm so lonely, Mr. Lonely. This song, dude. You see, and I'm always afraid that the wrong thing to do is pretend like you care, because that sucks. That sucks. You pretend like you care, like you're interested in this conversation, But if you're not, but then if you're faking interest or you don't give a fuck, there's this very thin line that's acceptable, where you don't give a fuck, but you're still open to talk about it, right? And that fine line is where I want to be, right? I don't want to pretend like I'm interested, but I want to be open-minded enough to say, you know what? That's what you want to talk about? Let's talk about that, right? and reaching that fine line without crossing the line of I'm pretending to care or I don't care enough. You know? The perfect amount of care. What if you didn't care enough to reach that? I don't know. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink. It's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Commentary Show. You guys are doing well. So having a wonderful day on this 26 April 2025. The sun is setting down behind me. We're playing the tower not once, not twice, but 3 times. We're listening to music. We're listening to Akon and Mr. Lonely. And this is the subject of the conversation of the day. Not Akon, of course. Shout out Akon if you're listening to this, which you probably are, of course. But it's loneliness, right? So you guys know that I'm not doing really well lately, right? And we've had people reach out and say, "Hey, how can I help you? What's wrong?" You know, and you know your fragile male ego is like, "No, I'm good. Don't worry about it," right? But you should be worried about it. Because then again, you put yourself in a situation, right, where you have people that cared about you and like, but then you don't want to be the victim, right? And so this is gonna be a long ass video, so please sit down. If you're feeling lonely, it's gonna be it for you guys. If you don't feel lonely, it's gonna be quite a depressing video, so just skip it. You know, you have a hard time asking for help because you're so used to people coming for you for help that you kind of like the feeling of being the protector, being the provider, right? I think it's very manly to be the provider. I think overall, I think it's up to us to decide what's our place in society, right? It's up to us to decide what place do we have. Are we a provider or are we a... Because there's none in between. There's none in between, right? There's none in between. You either provide or you don't provide. Or you take, right? Which I think it's a better way to put it. And I like to be in the position of the provider. I like to be the one that helps. But maybe I'm just helping people because I don't want people to help me because I'm insecure, right? Maybe I'm insecure because I don't ask for help. So it's a vicious circle. Got some problem, right? Change my mind by helping people. Those problems are still there. And here, which is a circle, right? Here is a step where you ask for help yourself. But you skip it. So you're always like this. And then the cycle becomes a triangle. Right? And a triangle will always have rougher edge, you know? That's horrible, dramatic. But I made a couple of Mad Freak come right now, so you're welcome. You're very welcome. But you know, and ultimately speaking, yes, we're dealing with depression right now. It's a very mild depression, so we're still able to act. And I'm trying to work my way through it, right? But maybe me trying to work my way through it is the exact thing that's stopping me from healing, right? Maybe that's what it is. But what I actually think is, you know, I did push people away last week. I wanted to help. But some of those people would have not helped. What do I mean by that? It's actually quite complex. So, to Season 2 Guild. Wow, your remaining token from Season 0. 41, baby, 41. 50, hell yeah. Ooh, we have a Season 2. Okay, so we have to do that. Welcome to Stop It and Come On Home, Season 2. Don't do the work it out. I don't want to do the work, my baby. Ooh, limited. Wow. Okay, so we got some good stuff. Mr. Lonely. We got some good stuff. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, so oh fuck, I wanted to end the video here because they're quite a long videos and I have to focus on the tower. The tower will only take a couple minutes, so I think I'm gonna have to say fuck that. I do a part 2. I am so sorry, but the tower provide the season started 20 minutes ago. I was going to be the first to make the video. Let you guys take it easy. See you in part 2. Mr. Lonely. I am lonely. Do lonely. I'm Mr. Lonely. I have nobody. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to our show. Guys, doing well. Having a good day on this 26th April 2025. It is currently 8:13 for the Coming of Mortals, but it's actually the season 2 for my Tower Defender. So we're having a very nice sunset. We're playing not 1, not 2, but 3. Tower, and we're listening to Akon, Mr. Lonely, which is a bit weird song to do this video about, but hey, it's a great song. So today we're checking out the season number 2 of Guild, so let's go. By the way, I'm gonna show you guys my guild, because we're champs. My girl left me. You want less of me and more of this? Okay, no problem. So lonely, so lonely, so lonely. I have nobody. Let's check out season number 2. Got 56 days. I think the first one was more than that. I think the first season was 32 days. Let's check out the store because there's a bunch. We care about the store. We care about the store. However, in the Guardian, there could be, okay, I said it was possibly a locker. A locket, or a lock. I don't know. I'm French, guys. Bonjour, croissant. No, we don't have it. So, we're gonna see what we have. I did take a peek. A gander. It looks amazing. Look at this mesh warrior, dude. Sheesh. Mesh world, which is very Transformer-ish. We love these. We love this. We love this. Mr. Lonely. We have the mesh world, which is weird because the background and the menu are the exact same. Profile banner is actually quite new. It's actually quite new. They were talking about having it, but they never had it. And then we have the 2 Guardian. So we have Mouse, but it's a cat, which means that Butter was a dog, right? And we have the Finn, which does seem. I would have said a rocket, but now that I look at it, it looks like a shark or a dolphin. But I'm gonna say shark, and Finn for a water fin, right? Makes sense. Makes sense? No, not really. Okay. We have the Fancy Wires for a health return 2%, and we have the Mesh Head, bot range by 2 meters. Okay, that's pretty good. And we get Flesh. Are we gonna be having a description of it? No. Oh well. Lonely. So we're at 121. So I don't mind. Killing this run. Yeah. Be alone. Wanna be hurt this long. What is Fesh? Tower locate, retrieve hidden loot, coin, gem, metal shard, and module. Tower Guardian, locate hidden loot. Wow. Whoa. Okay, this is huge. Lonely. Guys. We're back. I told you I was going back. So the fetch is amazing. Oh man, it's amazing. You're gonna see it because I'm gonna put a montage of it, but still, I just have to post videos. Lonely, so lonely, Mr. Lonely, so lonely, so lonely, lonely, so lonely, so lonely, Mr. Lonely. I am still lonely. I have nobody on my own. Ooh, so lonely. I am so lonely. I have nobody. Jump on my own. Ooh, so lonely. It's my girl right here. Yeah. It's for my players out there, man. And good girls. Man. Tower Talk. Let's explore the second season of the guilds. I don't beat it, so I had to take a little ride. No, I'm not checking on these 2 years. No. But you're going back. My girl Lexi. I'm still crashing and I'm so lonely. Is Mr. Lonely. I am nobody. Out on my own. I am so lonely, Mr. Lonely. I have nobody to call my own. You need a girl like you did that just get it that you water my line. You know I put you through. I'm not doing by my side. And then I broke your heart to you a good girl and I had no right. And the end of being right, girl. Got you and I left and I'm so lonely. Listen, so lonely. I am nobody. I am a young. This shop has some great item, and the ship is amazing. Don't you mean true? Chasing you, where I'd rather be. Ain't nowhere in the globe I'd rather see than what your dream can make it be. No, I'm happy with it, I'm so lonely, 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 Mr. Lonely, Mr. Lonely. I have nobody. I only Mr. Lonely. You have nobody. No, my own. Be alone. And to be done this long. Don't do the come on home. Still playing and then come on home. Maybe girl like they mean to try. Don't blink, it's your boy, and welcome to the show. Because we're doing Wops, having a wonderful day on this 26th April 2025. Today we're doing part 2 of our lonely video. Where were we? I don't even know. So I think I'm gonna do a part 1, which is Phil Take. Yeah, I think we're talking about depression, right? And okay, so we talk about depression. You see ADHD. Plus, we just did another video that is insanely good. Check it out. I'm not gonna tell you the video because if you see a video and you don't like it, it's probably the one I was talking about, right? Watch another one, and then when you finish watching that other one and you're not satisfied, you say, I'm gonna give the guy a last chance, and then you watch the third video and it's still shit. But thank you for the 3 views. Thank you. So, talking about depression and how it was working, and you know, it's a more of a time of need, right? And the time of need is, I was talking about people that yeah, I'm talking about people that are pretending to be there to help you, right? So those people are still, and it's funny because we just did a video on sports, and again, I'm not pointing fingers. I think we all have been that person sometimes. I think we were with that person. Some people are still that person. Some people move on from this period of their life, right? But I think we're all guilty of that somehow. It's we're seeing somebody and they're dealing with shit, right? So for me, when I see somebody that's dealing with shit, right, I have to be honest here because I'm gonna point fingers. Let's point fingers at myself first. I'm gonna be down to help them. But when it's always the same person and you're talking to them and they're saying, "Hey, can I help you?" and they're like, "No," and they keep on making a video where they say they're sad. Like, dude, you're sad, but you don't get the help that you want, right? So that's a bit on you. That is a bit on you, dude. I don't know why it's like that, but it's a bit on you, right? Which is the truth. It is a bit on you. So, that being said, sorry, I forgot to do it with this one. Fuck, I have a lot of work. You guys, I wish you guys knew how hard we're working. How hard we're working. Look at this, guys. The Guild shop. Look at this. You possibly heard me talk about it. We won the chip. It's so freaking good. And I'm hoping for a third one. So this is so good. See, it's little thing like that sucks. But then you're judging those people, but you're doing the same thing. People trying to help you, but you didn't ask for help, right? And then some other people, they'll see you not doing well, and you know, I don't know. It's such a complex thing, But this is a level of maturity that I'm reaching. I'm leveling up in maturity. I'm reaching more level in maturity, which is great. Right, we're gaming right now, so let's talk about gaming, right? You're seeing people are gonna be out there and they're gonna feel bad for you. Say, hey, can I be there for you, right? And you're like, ugh, you know? I had this friend and I love her, but she was like, hey, I feel lonely tonight. Can I get somebody to talk to me? Right? And I was free, so I'm like, you know what? She's a really chill girl, so we're talking. The talk was actually really nice. It was really nice. She's chill. And then the next day, she did the same story. Hey, I feel really lonely. Can I talk to someone? And I'm like, okay, well, I just helped you yesterday. then in my mind, I should have been like, yo, yesterday was a great talk. Why am I so unwilling to talk to this person, right? And the horrible thought of I helped you yesterday, or not my, it's not, I did my time or my turn. It's like that's a human being. It's not a fucking shared co-parenting, right? It's not the shared custody. I was looking for the word custody, right? I was thinking about custard for some reason, but not custody. And the level of maturity I was talking about is, you know, there's people that you would want to help, right? You want them to help because you're willing to help. So, for example, we had a romantic interest about 3 weeks ago, and I felt like it was mutual. And people were telling me, dude, have your move because she's down for you. And, you know, she was working a lot, and she's also a single mom, so I was like, okay, well, I wanted the perfect moment to, you know, I wanted to be chill, not chill, but she's dealing with a lot, so I wanted to be relaxed. I don't want to impose on her something else, right? So I waited a little bit, and I waited a little bit, right? And then I stopped talking, and to her defense, when I stopped talking to her, well, not stopped talking, but when I didn't answer her, she freaked out. She texted me multiple times, she called me multiple times, which I'm super grateful for, right? And it showed that she really cared, right? And then the next day we start talking, and then this is after radio silence, right? And I'm finding out in my life that there's a lot of people in my life that I absolutely love, but I'm not. I find there's a lot of people in my life where when they're here, when they're there when it's convenient, right? And one of my biggest depression was about 22 years old, and the biggest offset of this depression was I've helped people, and when I needed help, nobody was there for me, right? But then as you grow more mature, you realize that it's loneliness, right? You're a guy that's going to be reaching out. You're more social than other people. And when it's time for you to have this need for social, well, people are not there. But at the same time, they didn't ask to be there. Some of the cases, like they said a post, and then I said, hey, are you okay? And then they talked to me about what's going on, but I was the one that said, hey, are you okay, right? And it sucks. It really sucks because, again, we had a conversation with a person, and I was in her comment section because if I DM her, she wasn't going to answer. She did a video that she was quite sad, and we were talking to her, and I was like, hey, I'm there for you, right? And then she's like, I don't feel pretty, and I said, I think you're gorgeous. And then in the comment, she was arguing with me, no, I'm not gorgeous, right? So I was like, dude, I'm not going to argue with you in your own comment, what the fuck? So I did the kind of a sneaky thing, but more a less direct approach. So like, yo, I said I do think that you're gorgeous, and what did I say? I pinky promise you're gorgeous, right? And so I was like, okay, well, pinky promise, she's not gonna go against, and that's supposed to make her laugh, right? But the answer is like, it's only working if I did the pinky promise. And then I was like, nah, it doesn't work like that. She's like, yeah, And I'm like, dude, we just spent 20 minutes talking on your comments, right? When I'm actively DMing you, you don't answer the DM. So you like being that victim, right? And in my book, people that like being the victim, I don't like that because I'm like, dude, I'm going to put in effort because I worried about you, right? And you don't give a fuck. Which is probably not the case, but still, that's how I saw it. It's dark, huh? It's getting dark soon. I'm going to open up the white... I was gonna say window, and I said white. I don't know why. But yeah, so the mentality behind it was very different. The mentality behind it was another world, like that feeling of being abandoned. And I think that's what it is. I think what it is. When I look back at this, the depression that I had at 22, it wasn't, oh, I feel lonely, I feel abandoned. And now, I told you guys why I felt lonely. It's because, I never even told you why I feel lonely. Holy shit, whoops. The reason I feel lonely is because I need people. But I'm actively pushing people away because I work so much, right? Like, for example, we were flirting with 2 girls last week. 2 weeks ago. And one of the girls was very needy, right? The first one was really chill. The second one was, and I did talk about this. The second one was very needy, but then I felt bad about spending more time with the first one because she was just more fun to hang around, right? So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not ready to have a relationship, right? So I sacrificed the first relationship and I sacrificed the second relationship, right? The first one didn't do shit, and I felt bad about it, right? But then I still didn't feel like, I still didn't feel like it was okay, right? I still didn't feel like it was okay for me to choose one of them because I'm not the Bachelor. And if I was the Bachelor, I would have Anna be, I miss you, Anna. I fucking love you, Anna. Lonely, nobody, I have nobody over my own. I'm so alone. You see, with the other girl is also named Anna. Holy fuck! So with Anna, we were making jokes, right? Because I was flirting, and there was a guy in the chat trying to be my wingman, and actually super grateful. And he was like, "You should go on Bachelor, bro." And I was like, "If I have Bachelor, I'm taking her with me, and we'll split up the money, the prize money." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm super down," you know. You know, it's complicated. The world is a complicated place. Or I'm having talked with this other girl that I really like for months now, almost a year. And when it's convenient, she'll talk to me for like a week, and then she disappeared, right? And I'm like, bro. And it sucks because this one she's reaching out, so I'll do a live, and she'll come to the live and say, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, dude, you broke my heart so fucking often. What are you doing here? But then I forget. I've had this one friend. This is a bit more private, right? But you guys used to see Cappy a lot in my content. And Cappy, don't worry, there was no romantic feelings for her. She has a boyfriend. She's super chill, but she has a boyfriend, and I respect that, right? But Cappy, and I'm not talking about Cappy. I love Cappy. I think she's a wonderful person, right? But at the end, we don't follow each other anymore because Cappy was this wonderful friend, and Cappy was also dealing with depression, right? And Cappy, we were there for her often. The problem with Cappy is, and again, I don't think I don't think it's on purpose. I don't think it's her fault. I think it's just a lot of pressure, right? Because she's also a content creator. You should follow her. She has no Cappy X on TikTok. She's more focused on TikTok. Because we don't follow each other anymore, but I still keep up with her. I'm still worried about her, you know? She's my friend. And so what ended up happening with Cappy is, Cappy was this wonderful person, and Cappy was so fucking chill. Cappy was supportive. She would talk to me a lot, and Cappy she would do a lot for me, like it was just support wise. But she was one of my biggest gifter, and she didn't have to do that. And I was like, dude, you're making me uncomfortable. She was like, shut the fuck up. You're gonna take what I give you, you know. She was super nice, but then what happened with Cappy is it was, and I hate saying this because I don't know her version, and she was so important. People knew the channel. People knew her. I had a person come in my DMs, and I'm like, dude, you're so supportive, thank you. And it's like, yeah, I see you and Cappy all the time, so I'm so willing to support the two of them, you know. And Cappy was a wonderful content creator. She's way better than me. She's more meticulous. She's more planning. She's more montage. I'm gonna give it some light, and I'll be right back. It's pretty dark. Ain't nowhere in the world you'd rather be. So happy, but I'm so lonely. You know, and Cappy is such a perfect example of what I'm trying to say here. With Cappy, it felt like a really one-sided friendship. And again, I feel bad saying that because I don't think it's true. She had a reason, of course. But Cappy, I felt like she was a really good friend when it came publicly. Right? So she would come to the streams, and you know, she was super supportive. But behind the scene, she would leave me on read the DM. She wouldn't answer the DM, you know? And it kind of sucked because I was like, dude, we're friends. And Cappy had this habit of, and Cappy were friends for 4 years. Well, 4 years. Let's say 3.5, right? And Cappy was one of the first followers that I had. I think she was in my first 100 followers. Which, if you look at the stats, on Twitch I'm at 700, on YouTube I'm at 600, on Instagram I'm at 2,000, and on TikTok I'm at 8,000 something. It doesn't matter if we reach 9,000, right? So then what ended up happening is I should do that also. That's a good idea. What ended up happening was you know, she was really close to me, and we were talking almost daily, and then she would disappear. And she would disappear for 4 or 5 months, and you couldn't reach her, right? And I was in her DM saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm worrying about you. You know, I'm sorry if I did something wrong, because you do feel guilty that a person that's so friendly with you, it's gone from day to day. Like on Monday she's here, and Tuesday she disappeared for 6 months, you know, and you don't have news, so you're like worried, right? Maybe I fucked it up, right? So then she would come back and say, "Hey, listen, I'm not doing well," and you know, we it was okay, it was okay. And then she started doing it more and more, right? We stayed friends for 3 years and a half. She did that around 5 or 6 times, where she would leave, and sometimes it was 6 months, sometimes it was 1 month, sometimes it was a couple of weeks, and then she would come back, right? So I would always take her back, right? And when I think about it, maybe I wasn't the best friend of her, because she would tell me, "Hey, let's play Fortnite," but she would come in my stream, like say, is Elden Ring. I was already 2 hours in. She'd say, "Fuck that, let's play Fortnite." I'm like, "No, I plan to do this, you know." And or there's time where I felt, there's time where she would DM me, and we had a talk. She left me on read. The next thing is, fuck that talk, let's play Fortnite, right? And then if I said yes, we'd talk, but if I said no, we wouldn't talk, right? So I felt like, okay, well, I kind of felt pressure to play Fortnite, right? But then at the same time, she would disappear, and I would forgive her because she was so nice, right? She would be so nice when she disappeared. When she was there, she would be so nice. And then she disappeared once again. And this time it was bad. It was bad because I was getting a lot of trolls in the comments, right? Troll in the comments. And I'm telling you right now, as a content creator, it's really hard to have friends. My only content creating friend is possibly Lucio Wolf. But Lucio doesn't make enough content. He's not daily. My only friend is possibly in the content creator. Well, it's hard because it's really hard because I see myself as more than a content creator. So, for example, I'm gonna have this friend that does video. To me, that's content creation, of course. But to me, content creation is also Twitch, right? It's also streaming, because that's what I am, right? And then somebody, Aspen Gold, said it perfectly. Yeah, people that are super content creator like Ethan from H3 and Boogie998. Fuck you, Boogie. That did amazing number on YouTube, but when it comes to live streaming, they're an inch. And you realize that they're not really good people. They have a good team behind them that makes sure that we don't see that side of them. So the live streaming is really important to me, right? So in those friends, I think I only have Kyle. I only think Sir with a lot Otri. Oh, that's the only dude I have. And I fucking love Kyle, right? But Kyle is the only... Kyle and Lucio, but Lucio, again, Lucio's gonna have... And I love Lucio, but it's gonna have, like, months where it's gonna be really productive. It'll put out 2 videos a day, 3 videos a day. But there's months where he doesn't post anything. And, like, dude, what are you doing, right? But Kyle, why am I saying that my only friend is Kyle is the only dude that I know will not ask me to do him favor. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for favors, but it's not a relationship like that, right? We're both content creator. I'm gonna support him. He's gonna support me. But it's not intended. Oh, hey, if you support me, I support you. That's not that bullshit, right? Which I fucking love because Kyle's a good dude. And Kyle, and again, I'm saying this in a most respectful fashion, but Kyle does not give a shit if I succeed. And I don't give a shit if Kyle succeed. Do I want him to succeed? Absolutely. But I think Kyle's the same thing. If it happened, it happened. Congratulations. If it didn't happen, you tried, right? With Kyle, him being successful doesn't matter to me because it doesn't impact me, right? I don't see him differently when he started than when he is right now, and I think it's mutual, right? However, I do want Kyle to win because he's working so hard, right? But if he's successful, I'm not gonna be like, yo, I'm a friend with a celebrity, right? He's still Kyle. And it's a beautiful thing because it's not like I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It's a weird thing where there's not a moment where Kyle said something that I was like, you know what? This is not okay, there you go. I have the perfect explanation for that. Kyle feels like a friend, doesn't feel like a work friend, when other content creator feels like work friend, right? There's this chick, she literally was hitting me up every single day to battle, and when I said no, and of course I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I don't really do battle right now. And then I was like, dude, I don't know why I told you I do a battle. I'm never gonna do a battle with you. And then she just blocked me. And I'm like, yo, we spend 3 weeks talking every single day. What the fuck? You know? coming back to Cappy, I was getting a lot of hate, right? And then I kind of disappear. I disappeared, right? And I said I was gonna leave. I was gonna stop making content because, so it's still the same feeling. It's still the same feeling. I love making content. I do love making content, but right now we're not getting anything out of it. We're getting friends, which is great, but those friends would have my back if I wasn't making content. So I met the people that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about Andrew, Michael. We're talking about Sky. We're talking about fuck. Ad, Yasmin. Talking about Rim. We're talking about, I don't know why I had such a hard time saying Rim. Talking about Kyle. Talking about Lucio. We're talking about Hiba. We're talking about Huda. We're talking about Zineb. We're talking about. I'm forgetting a bunch of people, and I feel like an asshole. I'm talking about Lucio, of course. Talking about Kyle. Talking about. Those are the only friends that I have for multiple months. So I count them because I have friends. I have more people that have been in my life for a couple of weeks, maybe a month. And on social media, it comes and goes, right? Those are really people. We met through content, but I don't think, if I was making content, I don't think they would care. Not in the sense of they're not supportive, but I was like, yo, we'll still be friends. It's not a question of fans. And it's odd. It's not because those people I talk to almost on a daily basis. And I fucking love those people, you know? That's all I'm getting out of it. I've been making content for 4 years, and God knows how much I work. God knows how much I work. I have 30,000 videos. I have 7,000 videos on the gaming channel. The number of hours I put in, the number of hours I stream in my life, which is crazy. And I didn't have well, that's not true. I had some financial response to it, but like last month we had a bill for the government, and this is the very first time where I need money. One time I don't need money because I'm feeling good and I don't care what I eat. I love eating ramen, and ramens are cheap as fuck, you know? It's like this movie, Dark Knight, with the Joker, the Joker scene. And he burns money, and the guy says, what are you doing? And the Joker's like, yo, I don't need money. I like gasoline and like knives, and both of these are quite inexpensive, right? So, you know, and for me, I don't live a lavish lifestyle, nor do I want to live a lavish lifestyle. But it's the one time that I needed money, in 4 years, I didn't have enough. Right? I don't know. It just feels underwhelming, you know. And then come back to loneliness, right? So with Cappy, to finish with Cappy, because we've been there already. So I was putting blood, sweat, and tears, and by that time, okay, so what I was doing wasn't healthy. I had a fight with Cappy, I had a fight with Janice, and at that time, those two were the only people that cared about me enough to be on a personal level. Because I wasn't sleeping. I was sleeping 4 or 5 hours a day, maximum. Maximum. It was bad. It was horrible, right? But that's the way we did things. That is the way we did things. That's how we handle making content. If I can still walk, if I can still think, we're not tired, I can make some more content, right? That's how we view things. And so I took a break for 3 weeks because I put in blood, sweat, and tears. I'm not gonna get this. What I'm trying to do stepped on by one person, because there was a bunch of people, but there was this one person who was obsessed with me, dude. He was a stalker. I would release a video and then he would attack me. And then the worst thing is, I didn't mind the attack because it was working for the algorithm. But then people would defend me, and then he would attack those people. And I'm like, fuck, not attack those people, right? And then he understood that's what he had to do to get my attention. And he would go on posts that he already viewed and he already commented, and he would comment on people, and then he would go on their page and spread this sickness. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna make content, right? This is how you stop it. This is how you stop it from commenting on my friend post. I thought I heard a noise. And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. And so I made a video that I was giving up, right? Then I had Cappy. She texted me after a couple of days. I think she texted me the day of and said, yo, don't give up. Don't give in to the haters, right? And then I took a break from social media. So I saw the message. I didn't want to answer her, but if I answer her, I felt bad not answering other people, so I didn't answer everybody. We waited for 3 weeks. Then I texted her. Then I waited for a couple of months. And, you know, she wasn't answering. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know what happened. Maybe she disappeared once again because she knows she did it before. And then I went to her channel to see if she was still posting, because you don't have to talk to people. You don't have to talk to me as long as you're posting, because I know that she wanted to do that. I know that she wanted to do content creation, right? I know that's her dream. So yeah, I saw that she was active, and I saw that she unfollowed me, and for some reason that really hurt my feelings. That really hurt my feeling. Because you know how much this means to me. You know how much this hurts me. This means to me. And you unfollowed. And then I was like, then I blocked her. And I blocked her for the most stupid reason. The most stupid reason. And that reason, and I never talk about this because I don't feel good because she doesn't get to say her point of view. If I was a good friend, if I was a bad friend, I don't know. I think I was a good friend. I hope I was a good friend, you know. But then I blocked her because I know that if she came back to me and she talked to me, I would forgive her right away. It wasn't cool. There's this other girl, I'm not gonna say her name, but she's thinking of, okay, so there's this other girl, right? And she followed me on both accounts. So on the TikTok account, on the main channel, and the gaming channel. So before you get the 5,000 followers, or I think it's 5,000, you can see the visitor on your page. So somebody's visited, right? And she follows me on both accounts. And this girl, what she'll do is when she unfollows me, she'll unfollow me on both. So you can see that she came to the page, and it'll say friends if you follow each other, and it'll say following if you only follow her, which means that she came to the channel to unfollow. So I saw that, and then that girl, I spent days talking to her, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? But I took it personal because, again, I was taking a break because I was burned out. It was in October, I was burned out. There was another depression there. I think this is still the same depression, but I'm not sure. So then she unfollowed me, and then I went live, and then she refollowed me. She refollowed me on both accounts, and now she doesn't follow me. You know, or I'll see her passing the street, the live, and she won't say hi. And she'll come when she needs something. I'm like, okay, well, this kind of shitty behavior, no? Like, can I really complain? No, because am I a great fan? No. You know? So loneliness, let's go back to loneliness because it's such a subject. This is not a rant on who hurt you when you were a kid. Where did he touch you? So loneliness, we have this offset of also depression, and that offset of depression is the fact that, well, how can I say that? How can I say this? You realize at 22 years old when you had a big depression, right? The depression wasn't because you helped people and they didn't help you back. Because you cared so much, but nobody cared back. So you felt left out. You feel lonely, right? And it's amazing because one of the things that we talk about the most, if you ask me what's your number one quality, most of the time I'll answer extremely good looking, right? And then what's your second? I'll say very self-dependent. I don't really need people. You see, before I was talking about food, now I need to live this lavish lifestyle, right? And food is, and people are the same thing. I love having friends. I like a conversation with friends, right? And it's a beautiful thing to have friends. But can I spend a couple of days without talking to people? Yeah. Will I be sad? Not really. I'm able to not talk to people on a daily basis. You know. So we're putting the bread on the table. Yeah. You really want to talk shit? Okay, let's talk shit. You know. I told you guys about the friends that I have online. I want to talk about you guys about the people that I have in my real life. My real friends, I got 2. Shao, I fucking love. I got 3. Celine, who I fucking love. And Carl. Carl, we've been friends for 10 years. Carl, for 4 years now, if I don't text him, there's no talking. And what bothers me with Carl is we won't talk for 6 months. Then I'll text him, and he acts like we talked yesterday. Which I fucking love. I love the fact that we talked yesterday. But it's not true. We didn't talk for 6 months, dude. What the fuck? Right? It's like he doesn't care and he won't text me. Or Shao. Shao is the same thing. The exact same thing. If I don't text you, so they change song. So let's do Animal I Have Become. Animal I Have Become. Animal I have become. And Xiao, it's complicated. So Carl, well, it's the same thing actually. Same thing but different. Same but different, but still the same. So with Carl's, I fucking love Carl. Carl, because I know they won't text me. I'll text him once every 6 months and say, hey, what's up? And then again, is it honest? Every 6 months, is it honest to text him? No, it's just to save a relationship that possibly couldn't be safe. I don't know. With Chow, I text him more because it's I met him not a long time ago, right? We met about 3 years ago, and we were talking every single day, right? And it sucks because Chow, you'll see that he see my message, he won't answer. Then he'll talk and we'll talk normally, and he'll send me so Shao is single, I'm single, so he sent me a post of this really, for example, last week he said he sent me a post, 10 sexiest picture from Sydney Sweeney, I think it was, I don't remember, I think it was Sydney Sweeney or somebody, what's the name of the girl in Edge Runner? Arma, something, the Arma. And takes pose, and I'm like, holy shit, wow. And this whole video is started because Shao posted a picture of the Canadian, and he didn't buy a ticket, and he didn't think about inviting me. And I don't care if he doesn't invite me, it's just like, dude, if I do something cool and I'm not doing often, I talk to people that say, hey, you wanna come, right? But then who asked me that? And then we have Celine. Celine I fucking love. But Celine, when she's single, she'll text me on a daily. When she's in a relationship, nothing. So you're starting to doubt yourself, and you're starting to think that maybe she doesn't want to talk to you. She just feels lonely, and you're a dude, so she goes after dudes, and she's used to talking to dudes, and that's why she's talking to you, right? It's kind of fucked, isn't it? And these are my friends. I don't have friends apart from that, right? Mostly by my fault, admittedly, but still. And this is like at 22 years old right now, we feel lonely, and I had this depression, and I've had people reaching out to help, and I push them away. No one will ever change this animal I have become. How we believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me change this animal I have become. How we believe it's not the real me. Nobody help me change this animal. See, that's the thing. Deeply rooted, subconsciously, you're gonna know. So the first one that we were listening to was Lonely, and that's the animal I've become. This is completely different songs, but the mood behind it is completely different also. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. I have no clue. I think also the age that I'm at, it feels... The age that I'm at feels very different. I think we're also lonely romantically. See the darkest side of me. No one will ever change this animal I have become. How we believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me change this animal I have become. How we believe. See, romantically speaking, most of my life, oh man, it was bad. Romantically speaking, most of my life was horrible. We had this girl, let's call her Valérie. Okay? Me and Valérie met on a dating website. It's insane. This story is insane. And at first, or the very first time we went out together, we fucked. It was really good. But then she kind of took a step back, and I was like, okay, well, I'm a dude, I'm horny, so if there's a chance that we fuck again, I want it, right? And then we were talking about every single day. And we were talking every single day for 2-3 hours. Right? And admittedly, she was a really nice friend. When I needed to talk, she was listening. When she needed to talk, I was listening. It was a really good friendship, right? And for Cappy, I did the same thing with a girl called Mira. Mira, she was a really loyal friend, and when I wasn't doing good, I was leaving her. And she said, at 20 years old, I was 20, I was older than her. She was 20, I was 23. And she told me, dude, every single time that you leave me, it hurts me. She was able to say that at 20, and I'm not able to say that at 30. Two. So with Valérie, we talk every single day, right? And this is, I'm ashamed to say it, it's 2 years. It's 2 years of my fucking life. 2 years of my fucking life. So we talk about how we felt lonely on social media. We talk about how we felt lonely on... We talked how it felt lonely with friendship. Now let's talk about relationship, right? And Valérie, after a year and a half, she slipped up once. Luckily, I'm not stupid. She said we didn't do the dishes. We didn't do the dishes. And I'm like, who's we? And she's like, oh, me and the dog. She had a relationship. And this is the craziest story you'll ever hear. This is the craziest story you'll ever hear. This is the craziest story you'll ever fucking hear. And I swear to God, on everything that's holy, that's true. She came to see me. She was driving, I wasn't. Barry died. And there's a guy that comes in, her friend comes in. Let's call him Hugo. Right? I'm using real name too. Fuck him. Fuck her, not him. He was a victim. And he looked at me, it was really rude, and he looked at me like this. And I'm like, what's your fucking problem, dude? I didn't say that, but I was thinking, this guy is fucking nuts. Right? And then I asked him, and then I asked her, what was his deal? What was his problem? She's like, oh, I don't know. He's in a bad mood, probably. Now, this is the craziest story you'll ever fucking hear. The mindfuck. This is 3 years of my life. This is from 21 to 23. This is the craziest story you'll ever hear. We're following each other on Instagram. This girl, mind you, she's sending me nudes every other week. I see her on Instagram. She doesn't have a picture of this guy. I'm asking one of my other friends, whose also name is Valérie. And that saying of the dishes, it stuck with me. And I asked you, can you please check the Facebook? Because I don't have Facebook. Can you please check her Facebook? And guess what happened? On her Facebook, it's only a picture of her and her boyfriend. And guess who's the boyfriend? Guess who's the boyfriend? The guy who came and picked her up. I have become how we believe. And it was insanity. It was insanity. Insanity. You know? And then I just blocked her. So I block her. I go back on Badoo because remember when I told you we met on Badoo? Guess who liked one of my picture? She did. I have a match, and the picture is blurry, but you can kind of see the shape of the person, kind of see the background of the picture, and it's her. You know? And then she matched with my friend, Carl. You know Carl? She matched with my friend. And my friend's like, yo, I found this new girl. And they showed me the picture. I'm like, dude, she's fucking garbage. She's fucking toxic. And then she get mad at me because I'm ruining her friendship. I'm like, first of all, this is not friendship. You used to send me nudes. Second of all, we fucked. Right? It was only once. I waited for 2 years. Sex was really good though. Right? But then again, can you blame me? And I know you said, okay, well, Ink, you were dumb. That's your fault. The previous relation that I had was with a girl called Joanie. And Joanie was horrible. Joanie was mean, very mean. She wasn't mean to me, she was a sweetheart to me. But you can tell about it, you can hear her talk to her parents. She would treat her parents like shit. Right? I'm a mama's boy. You guys know how close I am to my father. So it felt horrible. You know? And then even then, last week, you know, I was talking to you guys about the government and working for the government and how good it felt. Just because I'm lonely, there were other people, you know? That's how bad it was. So last time I was that lonely, when I was 22, and I was getting tattooed every day. But my only communication was with that guy that gave me tattoo. It wasn't my friend. I was a customer, he was a seller. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that we were not friends, you know? Yeah. Joanie was so mean. She would treat people like shit. The waiter. She was a Karen. And she was a Karen at 19. She would tell, hey, this water is lukewarm. And the waiter would be like, yo, there's still ice cube in it. Right? She's like, I don't care. I don't care. Fix it. Yeah, she was really bad. She was really mean. And then she would text me the whole day. And she would take, and that's what I hate, dude. She would text you the whole day. And then you'll wait for 10 minutes, 20 minutes if you want to answer. Then she'll send you a response. And if you don't answer in 5 minutes, she'll send you another answer. Like, hey, you're not reading, what are you doing? Are you not reading my text? I'm like, dude, I'm not going to read the text the whole day. She won't understand. And then after those two, I met Leia. Leia, which I really loved. I really loved. That was her first girlfriend I saw myself long term. And Leia, I couldn't treat her right. Couldn't treat her right because one of my relationships were bullshit. She was like shit, and I missed her. The next girl that I met, I was still with Leia. I used the other girl for sex. She fell in love with me. I never loved her. I would tell her I love you, but it wasn't true, just a fuck. Then I really hurt that girl. I really, really hurt her. Really, really hurt her. After we broke up, she went to a 5150, which is when you do an attempt. And I promised myself I wouldn't be in a relationship after that. Then I waited till 27 to have this girl, and then it wasn't a relationship, it was just only fuck friends. But it was an open fuck friend. So she was like, hey, I'm seeing somebody else. Is that okay? And the truth is, she wasn't technically cheating with me. She was cheating with him. Because that was the second guy. And she was honest about it. It's not like, you found out that I have a boyfriend after 2 years. It's more so like, hey, I've seen this other guy. Do you mind? I'm gonna check if you don't mind. I'm like, are you dating that guy? She's like, no, I'm not dating him. It's only fuck. I'm like, okay, no problem. She's like, are you wearing protection with this guy? I'm wearing protection with you. We're good. Right? I never even met that fucking guy. I never even talked to him. So I'm not a cock. Thank God. And it was good, but then I realized that, and it was cool. She was only in it for sex. I was only in it for sex. However, I realized that I wasn't the first choice. I realized that she would spend a lot more time with that guy, and then I would get time when they were fighting. So that was the plan B. And I'm like, dude, I didn't have a relationship in 4 years. Is that relationship that I'm gonna have? Am I a plan B? Is that the best I can do? And what am I? Is it what am I destined to be? A plan fucking B? No way, Jose. I don't know who's Jose. Possibly the first guy, but still. So then we cut it off. Then of course I met some girls on Instagram. There was this girl, Holly. Holly was also a girl that it wasn't clear. It was never clear if she had a boyfriend. It was never clear if she was flirting with me or not. I was writing porn. She's like, yo, let me read what you written, right? And we also talked about sex, but never got further than that. Then there was this girl. After Ollie was whom? After this girl was I don't even remember if it was Lily. I didn't even remember her name. I didn't remember if it was Gabriella or Lily. You know exactly what I'm talking about then. She was super sweet. Super sweet. But then there was this Lily was really complex. But again, it's not Lily's fault. It's society's fault. Lily is society's fault. Lily is society results. I will finish filming that. You see this? Product of society? That's Lily. I got it at 22 years old when I was depressed, but it's still Lily. It's Lily before I met Lily. So Lily was a gorgeous girl, right? Was a gorgeous girl that felt like a lot of dude, and we actually talked about that. We'll have to talk about that. Lily was a gorgeous girl that wasn't your conventional gorgeous. She wasn't conventional sexy. She was a gamer girl, so if you're a gamer guy and you want a game, she was top notch, right? But if you were a normal dude, I'm not trying to say that she was average, but Lily would be the first person that you go for. Which again, I think that she was beautiful, but you know, a bit too hermit for most people, and that's for sure. Then I respect that, right? But a bit too hermit for a lot of people. So Lily would get almost all the gamer dude talking to her, right? And then she would post pictures that were subjective. Not talking about OnlyFans, we're not talking about brassiere, we're not talking about underwear. Talking about picture that was, that was, wow, okay, you look good, But then she didn't really want to pose those pictures. It was more so like, hey, like this is how people view me. People view me as this, object. I'm gonna act like an object, right? And you realize that Lily didn't want to do that, but Lily was kind of forced because if that's how people view her, maybe that's what she was, right? Very self-doubting. Very, very self-doubting. Which, again, it's not her fault. That's just how society put her, right? But then you feel bad for her because she was more than that. And then Lily, holy shit. I almost made the biggest mistake ever. I didn't even buy those. What the heck? 22 hours and I would have not bought it. That is bad. That is bad, bro. And I didn't even... thank God I had the coin because I didn't think about it. Holy, that's not good. So with Lily, it was a case of... Oh, man. Lily was amazing, though. I really like Lily. And see, Lily... Oh, it's complicated. It's very complex. But Lily was a person that... I felt like this was what people wanted from her, and she was a people pleaser. But then she would post a picture like that, and she would delete them an hour or two later, and she would feel guilty. She would feel like disgusted with herself. I'm not a prostitute, right? I'm like, yeah, nobody thinks about you like a prostitute. And she'd tell me something like, yeah, but if I post a normal picture, nobody's gonna like it. I'm like, who the fuck care about likes, right? But she cared about it, so I have to respect that too. And Lily, she disappeared from social media because people were asking a lot from her. So when we met this guy. And it's funny. It's a really funny story. So Lily's like, hey, please come here and support my friend. It's his first stream, and he's really a good guy. And I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck about him. But I give a fuck about you, so I'm gonna come, right? And then that's a true story. That's crazy. So I'm sorry, I'm playing the tower. So I'm like, hey, and again, the guy was stressful. The guy was stressed. He was having his first stream, and his first stream was setting up a computer. Don't ask me why. But then I'm like, hey, we don't know each other. And I could tell that the guy was a little bit nervous, right? So my first text to him was like, hey, it's nuts. It's completely nuts. We don't know each other, but somebody that really cares about you told me about you, and I want to support you because she supports you. Right? The guy gave me shit. He's like, go sell your something else. Go sell your something else where I'm not interested in your fucking agency or such like that. And the truth is, the asshole truth, and again, for that, I'm super sorry. The guy said it, and I didn't listen because I was doing something else. I was doing clips. She came to my defense. She's like, no, that's my friend. Right? And then he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then we laughed, and she was super chill. And then she really said thank you, right? That's the reason why Lily disappeared. See, I went to the stream of a friend. I went for 20 minutes, right? And Lily came to one of my lives, and she dropped like 100 roses, which is not a lot for people, but it's a lot for me. That's my biggest gift, I think, or it's one of my biggest gifts. Whatever. And when you like a video of Lily, she'll like one of yours, because she felt obligated, right? And I felt like the other guy was very, very serious. The other guy was very, very serious. It was to a point where it was not healthy. So this other guy had his first stream, and I'm not gonna say the name because I don't think I am the same. Okay, so for example, right? I said the name of Valérie. Valérie knew what she was doing. She knew that she was fucking over people. She just didn't care, right? This guy, I don't think he understand what he's doing is not nice. But at the same time, I did the same thing, and a lot less. I'm obsessed with making content. So before he even do it for his first stream, let's call him Thomas's. It was Thomas's stream, and his wife was in the chat, and his wife was Thomas's wife. Dude, you got 10 followers, right? What he would do is he would post other people. He would post people and say, hey, follow this, follow this, follow this. And before you knew it, he had a team of 40 people constantly chaining for help. So like my videos, I'll like yours, boost my algorithm, I'll boost yours. You know, we did that too, but it doesn't work. And Lily was in that. And I think she was kind of, not really forced on that, but she's unable to say no. Then she disappeared, right? So yeah, but about that, after that it was Maddie. Maddie, what I fucking love. Maddie was what I fucking adore. Maddie is an amazing human being. Me and her were peas in a pod. She's fucking weird. I'm fucking weird. I think they're the same music. She listens to the same music. Then Maddie is dealing with a lot. The thing with Maddie is she had an operation, and we got really close when she had her operation because she was talking to me a lot, right? But then when she got better, we started talking less and less. I think what Maddie is, I fucking love the girl, but Maddie, she'll disappear. And Maddie will come back, and she'll come back and talk to you for like a week, 2 weeks. Then she'll disappear, right? And I know that she's dealing with mental issue, but you know. And then the last one, which is Anna. And Anna's also super chill. Anna, I really like the girl, but Anna is... She's one of the first girl, like... I know there's so with Maddie, I feel like Maddie she'll disappear, and she knows she's hurting my feelings. So when she'll come back, she'll be super sweet. She'll be super flirtatious. I forgive her, right? Anna, when we talk, she's super flirtatious. Is the first girl where I there's something there. I know there's something there, but again, she won't talk to me. I know Anna for 2 months, and I don't know nothing about her. I know she's a mom. I know she likes The Office. I know she likes The Office because I know that she liked The Office. I know that she liked Boy with Luke, and I know that she loves Billy Talent. How? Because I saw her post on fucking Instagram. Not because she told me. I know so little about her, right? So again, she won't talk to me. And then we'll come back to loneliness. I think loneliness is an offset of age. It's an offset of age. Did I feel lonely at 22? Yes. Did I care? No. And that's the craziest thing. I'm going to say something and the guy's going to say too much information, but I do not give a single fuck about it. I don't care. At all. At all. At 22, I felt lonely. Do you know how it cure loneliness? Do you know how it cured loneliness? Telling you it's something else. I would jerk off. I would jerk off. And there you go. Problem fixed. Problem fixed. Almost as it never existed. I would jerk off. Now I'm 32. Do I still jerk off? Absolutely. Am I jerking off 8-9 times a day? No. We're doing it 4 or 5 times a day. There's an emotional need that wasn't there when I was younger. And its loneliness is coming from that need. That loneliness has always been coming from that need. I have this problem right now where I'm dealing with depression, and I need people because I need to talk to people. If I didn't need people, I wouldn't be depressed. I have this depression for friendship because I'm like, dude, where are my friends when I need them? I have this depression for love relationship because I'm 32 years old. My body count, my body clock is going higher and 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 higher. You know? And now that sucks. That sucks because I'm dealing with the offset of depression. I'm like, dude, I would like to have a relationship. Doesn't relationship doesn't happen like that, right? But then you meet potential, and you're like, holy shit, that's so cool. But then I don't want to be a dick. Listen, I got my own issue. If you're my age and you're still single, there's a reason as to why. There's a reason as to why, or there's damage, there's baggage there, You know, so a lot of the people that I get are my age or around my age, they're a mess. Life has taken them apart and crushed them and crushed them and crushed them and crushed them and then crushed them and then crushed them some more. You know? I don't know. I have no clue, guys. I have no clue. I wish I did, but I don't have a clue. Anyway, that's the video. Holy shit. This is a There's a therapeutic, there's a therapeutic feeling. And, you know, I talk about people like that. Talk about Valérie. She can... See, with Valérie, I don't think that she was trying to be mean. I think she was depressed. I think her relationship wasn't working well, and she didn't want to break up with the guy, so she found some other ways to entertain herself. That's one. Valérie didn't want to hurt people. However, she did hurt people, and when she realized that she hurt people, she continued. So, you know, it's one thing if you don't know what you're doing is bad. So I think if you're constantly doing the same thing, knowing that she's bad. You know, I talked about Cappy. Cappy, once again, she'll tell you another version. Maybe I wasn't a good friend. Maybe I was too demanding. Because with Cappy, our best talk with Cappy was during the streams. I wasn't there for her. Right? Yeah. I talk about Carl. Carl's not gonna watch this. I'm talking about Charles. Charles not gonna watch this. Talk about Maddie, Lily, Ollie, Anna. She don't watch this. You know? And they shouldn't have to watch a video to know how I feel. I should be straight up and say, hey, this is how I feel. This is how you make me feel. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. I should be able to do that, right? No, I'm not able to do that. Why? I don't fucking know. The question I want to ask myself right now, was I ever able to tell people how I feel? Really how I feel? You know? Yesterday I went to my father's for the taxes. And I told him about my problem for the 13,000. No, that we owe the states. Not the state, the Canada. The country. Fuck the states, the country. And he felt bad for me. Because again, the guy has been doing my family taxes for so long. And he's a good dude. And he's been so nice to us, right? And then he said, hey, he didn't say shit happens, but he found a very polite way to say shit happens. Then he said, if you need to talk to someone, if you have questions, please call. And I didn't feel, personally, that's my version. I felt like he was being compassionate. I felt like he was having pity. It wasn't kindness. It was like, holy fuck, that's a bad situation. I can give you advice, you know. I feel bad for you. Not I want to help because you're a good person, but I feel bad for you. My father, the first thing he said was, how much is it going to cost us? Which is also a good question. And then the guy said, never mind. And I'm like, Dad, what did you do? And I wasn't able to tell my dad, that's not nice. You know? Anyway. Even again, it's a long enough video, but I got more time. Let's go. See, with my family, I can rely on my parents a lot. They're super kind. But I felt lonely a lot when I told them about 13,000 because my father was like, hey, this is a problem. Now you have to fix it. Being a man is fixing your own problem. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to fix that? Right? And he wasn't the most helpful. Then my mom was the most helpful. Was also super, super mean and super aggressive. And she did apologize for that. She did apologize, so that's okay. But she was also super mean. And I'm like, dude, if I reach out to them, my father doesn't want to hear anything about it. If I talk to him about it, he changes the subject. And my mom last week, I couldn't talk to her without her being super mean. And she would talk to me bad, right? And then she apologized, but... And again, it was like, okay, well, there's another point where I'm lonely, right? Right? And when you look at it, I'm also very boring. Thing that I like, well, not a lot of people like that. Anime. I like old school anime. I like 90s anime. Making content. If you're not a content creator, and if you're a content creator, there's a chance that you're gonna want us to help each other out, which I don't want to do. What else do I like? right? Gaming. Do you have a clue how many games are coming out every single month? No, you don't. And I'll be honest, I don't either. You know? So yeah. I'm a boring guy. I'm not fun to talk about. I'm fun to talk about because most of the time, when you talk to me, I'll ask questions like, hey, what are you into right now? What are you like and dislike right now? What are you thinking about right now? Right? Which is super kind. It's super kind. But does it change the fact that, okay, well, guess what? You had this to deal with. No. And I don't think I don't think, normally speaking, normal people, right? I don't know a lot of them, but normally speaking, you don't go to talk to someone to talk about yourself. So when this person, myself, have nothing to talk about, and they're wanting you to talk, it's awkward. We were able to make an hour video. What did we really say? Talking about being lonely, right? Told you why I felt lonely. What hurt me in the past. But have I mentioned one thing that I could do to change? No. Is it gonna change tomorrow? No. Is it gonna change in a week? Possibly. Who knows? I don't fucking know. As what you say? Ciao, you're under arrest. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So what if you can see the darkest side of me? No one will ever change this animal right you've become. How we believe it's not the real me. Nobody help me change this animal right you've become. How we believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me change this animal.
I gotta say,
Shh.
this is the most
Faut dessiner une lune. Après, tu vas dire.
So what if you can see the darkest side of me?
Calisse qu'elle soit là, je m'en fous qu'elle soit là, qu'elle rentre. Tu es retourné. Tu nous as fait la promesse de ne pas y retourner et tu y es retourné.
Je t'ai pas bloqué parce que je vois rien. Je te le dis, man, c'est chichi là.
How we believe that's not the real me. Myself many times Do 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 time. Do do do
Hey,
do.
hello everybody! Swixy, I'm on a burner right now, buddy. Damn.
How we believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me say the same. No, but forgive me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. Somebody help me from this nightmare.
Ashley, curse of the commentator, Shizuri, curse of the commentator.
Do 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 do.
Medium, is it possible you're just not as good as you think you are? Is that possible?
Do 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 they gotta disagree. Don't follow me. Wanna set the city more while you pick up. How we believe there's not the real me. Somebody help me say the city more while you pick up. How we believe it's not the real me. It's gonna help me change the cinema.
Alright, we gotta hold on. Yeah, Rite Aid, I mean, you see what I have to, at least what I have to deal with Rite Aid. Attaboy. GG. Chris, exactly. I mean, like, you can at least, you can make fun of me. I don't mind if you guys make fun of me, but let's be realistic here, you know? I'm not losing to a fucking diamond.
Gojo, Gojo. Yo, she's got a bottle. She's got a bottle. She's got a bottle.
She's immune.
She's immune.
If you Wow, he went all the way. Whoa. I thought for sure that would work. Like, I thought for sure.
Nobody wake me from the it is do 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 do. I've become how I believe. Santa Mora have become how I believe. It's not the world, man. You're just a So what if you can think? Do 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 me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. No. Do we believe? No. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. No. Do 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 I can't escape. Do. How many times I've tried. Dumpling is your boy Ink. Welcome to the Culture Show. If you're doing Wobsa having a wonderful day. What is going on in my hand? I don't even know. Of course, they're doing Wobsa having a wonderful 26th April 2025. They were doing a Tower Talk. Oh my god. Didn't even put it back on. Oh, today we're doing a Tower Talk, and I'm so excited because you can tell. So we have a lot to talk about. We have some great news. Great news. There's some horrible news, but great news. So let's talk about the horrible news because I only have one. We had our very first drama with the guild, and I know what you're saying. That's the second one. Yes, it is the second one. But the first one, the member that was in question, is out. So, my apologies. No harm done. The second drama was we had this player who wasn't logged in for 8 days, right? And we have a very different mentality of people, which is really cool because we almost had some clash. Because the guy wasn't there for 8 days, which is okay. I mean, we're pretty lax. And when I say I don't think, I'm 99% sure that we never missed 1 week. Never missed 1 week. We always got all of the rewards. Now we had a new guild season, so we're gonna talk about that, of course. But the person missing, it's not the fact that okay. So if I'm being completely honest, there's a player in my guild. His name is I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right freaking now. His name is Moriarty for 3 weeks now. He's been the number one and partaking in the guild. Like last week he was at 70 points. I was at 30. So 30 for the shield, for the sword, and for the crown, right? So actually some decent things that were going on. Ultimately speaking, I am grateful that we have people like that in my guild. But I don't want it to be automatically like, hey, this guy's gonna save us, right? People have been playing. So it's crazy because last week was the most recent event. People are aware of the guild. People are aware of the rule of the guild. We had I think it was 4 players under 30. And the reason why I'm saying under 30 is because we did 30. We did 30 on the cheap playthrough. So we're gonna talk about people that did less than me or they did more than me. there was only 4 people out of 30 that did less than me. So we had points and points and points to the utmost, you know. And ultimately speaking, it's nice because you do want to have the guild reward. Like last season, there's a lot less reward for the guild, right, than this season. So what was the drama? The drama is, okay, so we didn't have, there was this clan of people. Ugh, it's complex because out of the 30 members, maybe 11 or 12 are talking in the guild chat, which is great. I'm grateful for that. I'm super grateful for that. So what happened most of the time is the same people. So a couple of people that usually talk were like, hey, as long as we are hitting the rewards, there's not a problem, right? And we had a guy who, it was so funny, he said the gladiator up and down. He said, I don't care. It might feel like more rewards. Like, for example, this week we have way more rewards. So I'm actually good enough to remember, right? So, for example, last week, we're going to go into the what do we have versus what is there, which is kind of complex to understand, but trust me. So this week we have a tower in background. We had this last week. So that's null, right? We had a menu, right, which is good. That's null because we had two menus. So menu last week and a menu this week. We have profile banner. This is +1, right? We have the guardian. We have 2 guardian. So there's one of them that's null. That's +2, right? For a total of 250 token, right? We still have the same relics and the 2 relics, so they're the same price. We have the tower, the ship, which is super good this week, this season. Guardian, the fetch is unbelievably good. Especially for AFK, it's unbelievably good. So there is a 250 token that is needed. So even though last week, last season, I'm saying last week because the season changed today. Even though last season we never had a problem, it could be a problem at some point, right? They'll keep on adding. The profile banner is actually a huge bonus. So they were talking about how we want to kick out people or keep them, right? And then I was telling people, dude, we have to come together. I'm not going to take a decision. I'm not a dictator. I want us to be a democracy, but I need a yes or a no. Because people will say, yeah, but if... I'm like, no, I need a yes or a no, you know? So then we kept the person, because the person ended up logging in that day, right? Or then we have this other person in my guild who was logging in every single day, which technically means that they're partaking. However, they're not doing their mission. They're playing enough to get the logging or something like that. And after a week, they had 5 points. I'm like, dude, you know. But then, you know, it's all good, because if my guild, see, the end is trying to mean the need is the mother of all invention. So if people say we need to kick them out, people are going to get offended. Or not offended, but they're going to get more sure about the subject, right? Right now, I'm a guild master. So I'm in a tough position because I'm not an authoritative person. I'm more like laid back, relaxed, right? But if it was to happen, if it was to be a case of, hey, we need to take a decision, I don't know what people would choose. I don't know if people would choose to kick that person out or not. And then I have to be the guy who's mindful of everybody's opinion. So I want to keep that up, right? Now, the good news, because that's the bad news. It's not a big drama, but it is, because last week, okay, so my point of view, which is, again, I'm overstepping my boundaries, but again, I don't really care. Last week was more so a case of, guys, we don't have to rush. We don't have a close need to change something right now. We're still good. We're still in a good position. We don't have to change, but soon we're gonna have to change. And this week we have a 250 more, right? And even then, there was this guy who the first person that we had drama with would complain, and it was a bit too intense, because he was always complaining about people not being active enough or people not partaking enough. There was this discussion that we had where he was saying, this person is logging in every day but doesn't make points. Right? And again, I told you guys the same thing. This person logs in every day but made 5 points. It's not a problem, because we don't need the results. But I'm like, dude, you're playing part of a guild, right? So you have to do the guild mission. And again, it's kind of cool because out of 30 people, 12 of us are talking in the guild, and some of them are super opinionated. So they'll talk about, hey, I'm playing this game where there's a guild system, and that guild system is actually a lot more strict, right? So we're still good, but they know they have a little bit more experience, and this other person's like, yeah, but the guild is not like that for now. The good positive point. So we're gonna be talking about the guild first of all. We're gonna be talking about our situation, which is also really good. So the situation right now that we have is we have a new it's so fucking cool. It is so fucking cool, the guild. Because the first guild was Crown. And Crown was perfect because we have our main playthrough, which is Crown. So the fact that we had a Crown Tower background was perfect. But then again, you don't want a Tower Crown for shield or sword. So it was kind of, But then we have the Mesh Warrior. And the Mesh Warrior feels really Transformer-ish, which is really cool. The background is super nice. Now, technically speaking, there's a bit of a complaint there, but it's super cool. There's a bit of the complaint here, which is super cool, is... So, for example, right, I'm going to show you. So, the Mesh Warrior is right here. Super nice. You got this. This and this are the same thing. This and this are the same thing. Don't buy shit yet, bro. The Purple Banner and the Tower are the... Oh, there you go. Okay, sorry, the menu and the background are the same thing. Right? Now, the Purple Banner is a bit different, but it's the same thing also. Which is cool. The complaint would be like, hey, it's a bit too similar. However, if you really like... So, Mesh Warrior is possibly one of my favorites so far. There's a lot of my favorites. So, in my favorites, we'll go with the Sword, the Crown, because that's what I have the most. My favorites are possibly... through this nightmare, I can't control myself. So what if you can see like a side of me? No one will ever change this animal I have become. My favorite team is possibly the Default, which is really nice. I have Saudon, which is super cool. We'll go with Cherry Blossom, which the background is really nice. We'll go with Sheep. I love Sheep at his own. Mush is super cool. We have Prism, which is really nice. Neo Turbo, it's only cool. Neo Turbo is but it's only cool when you have the background that goes with it. Howling Wolf, super nice. Howling Wolf was one of my first one. We had the Dark Tower is actually pretty cool. The Dark Tower is only cool when you have the effect. We have the Fisherman, which is cool because when you have the Golden Tower, he sings. And then you have the Noise Tower, we only have a good background. And that's it. Black Hole would be good for shield. Right? So these are my favorites. So the Mesh World is possibly one of the favorites. And I know what you're saying. Dude, you give us a lot of your favorites. I give you less than half. Less than half of what I have. So the store. We do have the Mesh Warrior. The background, the profile banner is super cool because I hope that you'll see this when you work in tournament. That would be so cool. The Guardian, we have two choices. Now, technically speaking, we have a cat. We had a dog before. We also have a shark. So the shark could be cool for the sword. Could be really cool for the sword. But the best thing about it, the whole guild season, is the guardianship. The guardianship, the fetch, is unbelievable. It's so fucking cool. You have a chance to find hidden loot, gem, shards. It is so good for AFK players. It is so freaking good. It just rendered the AFK aspect even more beneficial. So it is good. It is not great. So it rendered every single AFK playthrough much more desirable. However, when we're actually playing, we're clicking the diamond. It doesn't serve any purpose, right? But now that it's hidden, you get even more rewards, right? So if the fetch was only for the rewards for your clicking, that would have been cool. But now that we have both, it makes the whole thing super useful. And finally, we have my good news for the tower playthrough. So the first good news that we have is we're back at 9. So I know. Okay, so here's the mentality. So I was at 9 when we started. I was at 9 like 2 months ago. And then people at my guild, they were like, no, you have to be in 1 because you're doing more coin. And you're getting more. But at 1, we had a complete stoppage. I wasn't able to buy everything that I needed. I wasn't able to maintain some of that I needed, right? So the 9 is actually better. Now, technically speaking, we're in a bit of bad position, but it's a great thing. So we might be working next week. And we might be starting at 40 hours next week. So I should have done it the 90 the tier 9 for the end. Now, if we're playing when we're sleeping, which I don't think we're going to be doing, the 9 is destructive. The 1 is the best way to do it. But 9, right now we're going back to 9, so we're going to be able to have some... we're going to be able to have somewhat of a plus. So why we chose the 9? Okay, well, because yesterday, my phone broke. The crown phone broke. You can see here, there's a little crack. You can tell, right? I can actually tell a little bit. Right? So the screen wasn't working. We missed a tournament, and I was like, dude, not only did you miss a tournament, but it wasn't that time that you had a tournament that you were proud of. It's been a while, so I was like, okay, well, let's switch to something that's more beneficial. We're back to 9. 9 feels like the right thing to do. 9 feels like the right thing to do. Like, for example, we have 27B on the shield, which we never have. And then on the sword, we have 5 Bs. You see the difference? It's all from Black Hole. It's all from Black Hole. Would the fetch gonna be better? But still. My apologies. So yeah, so this is the good news. We'll see how it goes. In the perfect world, what I would like to do, in the perfect world, I would like to increase perks. So I'm going to be working soon, so the perks are going to be super important to upgrade. If I could upgrade some weapons. So see, the problem that I have with both playthroughs, I'm trying to be, you can kind of see that I'm more negative today, but I'm being more like, because we're not progressing enough. We're not progressing enough. I have a lot of games that I'm liking. I'm not progressing enough, which is bad. What was I talking about? See, we got ADHD, so it's harder. I don't know what to increase, because with this word, what I could increase is actually like something. The easiest thing to increase would be Spotlight, which would be also really good. However, Spotlight right now isn't good to increase, because Spotlight doesn't touch a lot of, and this word, doesn't touch a lot of the enemies. So if it was touching more enemies, I would increase Spotlight. So the only thing that I have right now is possibly Chain Lightning to increase. Of course, I like my ultimate weapon. So increase Chain Lightning and Death Wave. Death Wave, we did increase it a lot. So it's not easy to increase. So the only one that I have is Chain Lightning. But once I upgrade Chain Lightning, what am I supposed to upgrade? And on the shield, I can increase 2 things. I can increase my inner landmine. And then what? I can increase what? Chrono Field. That's pretty much it, right? Because the other one I need to activate them. For example, the Chrono Field works wonder. The Black Hole. The Black Hole, we're at a point right now where it's almost perfect. The only that I could want is for it to be more so permanent. But there's so little time. There's so little time in between us being at a plus. How can I say that? There's so little time between us being at a maximum of usage available for the Black Hole. I cannot talk tonight. I cannot talk. I'm tired. I'm not feeling good. There's so little time in between the usage of the Black Hole. Like, there's a couple of seconds. So it's not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal. And that's pretty much it. So these are the good news. We're back at 9. We're going to be working. We're going to be going to 1. But we'll see. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink. It's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Come Show. Continuing Mobs having a wonderful day on this 26 April 2025. Today we're coming in at you with bad news. It's not a bad news, but it's a bad news nonetheless. So we're stopping Tokyo Ghoul. We're ending Tokyo Ghoul. So Tokyo Ghoul Break the Chain was a game that we started since it started. So we started, I think it was a week or a couple of days after it started. It started on the 19th of October. I think we started on the 22nd or the 21st of October. So we're stopping it. I'm sorry, but we're stopping it. So the reason why we're stopping it is because I've been really enjoying Tokyo Ghoul. I've been really enjoying how much they improved the game, how much they changed about the game. I really like that. But I feel like I've done a lot, you know? I feel like they changed the events are super cool. But I feel like the events, even though they're different, the system, the mechanic behind the events is the same. We have different mini events that are rotating. The character that I have right now, before we get into one of the characters that I like that I have is reskin of people that I already have, right? So more Tuka skin, more Ayato skin, more Ken Kaneki skin. Ken Kaneki, we're at 5 skin from Ken Kaneki in 4 months. You know, that's a lot. So I'm liking. I still like the game. I still really like the game. However, when you think about it, I have 300 play. I have 300. When I show you something, And a tower, we have this new part, which is fetch, cool down, tower guardian, locate, retrieve any loot, coin, gem, medal, shards, and module. This is so good. This is so fucking good. This is incredible. Wow. It's gonna be good. Oh, I forgot. More. Somebody help me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. Somebody get me from this nightmare. Can't escape this hell. Choo 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 choo. Choo choo. So yeah, so the tower, the Tokyo Ghoul. It's a great game. It's just like, you know, it's not. It's. I don't know. I'll be okay. You want me to be honest? Okay. The fact that they put the maximum level at 300, and most of my characters that I like are at 300, I don't like it as much. The main thing that I like about Tokyo Ghoul is you could play with the character that you want. You also could play with the faction that you like. So Andeku is the main character. I love Andeku. Now that we can play with Andeku, I really like that. I don't care about having in my team 2 Tuka. I don't care about having 3 Tuka. I can have 4 Tuka. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. But now that you put your level maximum at 300, you have to play with certain characters, and they're forcing you to play with those characters, right? So one of them is Noro, because Noro is super easy to get. One of them is the legendary tournament carnival. One of my favorites was Yuta. Yuta, we didn't use him at all, which sucks. One of my characters was Juzo. Juzo, we didn't use him at all, right? So I didn't like that. The fact that they put at 300 sucks. And I'll be completely honest, I'll miss a game, but we're switching for another game. So Temple of Shadows, which is a game that we started 3 weeks ago. I'm not in the invitation anymore. I don't like it. However, we're trying to play Bleach Brave Soul, and it's really cool. So I might be trading for Bleach Brave Soul. However, Bleach Brave Soul is a bit more game-wise than AFK. So it's less AFK than Tokyo Ghoul, which it's a problem. It's a problem because I use Tokyo Ghoul when I work out. You know? And that's something else. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So, goodbye Tokyo Ghoul. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the good memories. Thank you for 4 months of content. Appreciate you. Thank you for 4 months of good memories. I love ya. I'll see you down the road. Take it easy. I'm gonna miss it for sure. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Vicom Show. We're doing website having a wonderful day on this 26th April 2025. Today we're doing a very quick video. We're doing a short first thought on Bleach Brave Soul, a 10-year-old game that we just started. It's not that I'm a fan of Bleach. If you needed convincing, here it goes. Bleach Brave Soul is so cool. It's a bit less AFK than I would like. There's a lot of story. The story feels like it's a lot. You have a lot of story, but in the beginning the story is like that, right? There's a lot more narrative story. We're at the we just finished a Parakeet. We just finished Orohime, actually. We just finished Sora. The next is Uryu, and then we got the Grand Meadows, and then we got Soul Society. So Bleach Brave Soul sounds phenomenal. The game is nice. The characters are nice. There's so many characters. Bleach, I really like the characters. There's a lot of we have Ulkoria, we have Ishigo, we have Kenpachi. We have Ishin when I started today. So it's a really fun game. There's a lot of fun elements. It seemed complex. It seemed like there's a lot to learn. It's a game that's 10 years old, so of course there's a lot of content that was added in due time. There's characters that I got 2 characters that are level maximum and at 6 stars, so that takes away from the fun. We're trying to use characters that I don't have at full power, but I don't have a lot. So for example, we have 2 5 stars that we're using Ishigo, right? So it's a bit complex. It's a bit complex, to be honest. But hey, we're having fun, and that's all that matters. So I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to explore it. It's my very first thought, so we did a lot of the story. We did some of the arena. Arena, I'm not a fan of it. And that's pretty much all I can say for now. So super characters, super concept. Love the game, love the narrative. But it's Bleach. I love Bleach, right? If it was something else, I don't know if I would love the game. That's a problem. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to a very short video because we're doing website having a wonderful day on this 26th April. Why very short video? Because we have no more sunrise, we have no more sunlight, and 5% batteries. So today we're reviewing G Eternal, which is Gundam Eternal, the newest Gundam game that was released a week ago. We're giving you my first thoughts, we're giving you what I think about the game. First of all, I am not a fan of Gundam. I think it's a good series. I think it's a good, but I don't know the series. There's so much to get into. Gundam is so complex, there's so many seasons, there's so many universe. It's just so hard to get into, right? So the game in itself, one of the big point that I like, one of the big point that I like is that you get to visit I have to put it on the charger, and it's 4%. My hair is gonna be a mess. You'll have to forgive me for that. Which you will, right? Right? So, my biggest draw is also my biggest con. And again, I don't tell you bullshit. It's something that needs to be changed. The game is given a chance. My biggest pro is that we're going to visit every single universe. You're getting the story and you're getting part of the anime, which is really cool. Like, show me the original anime. We're part of the first season of work with the story. I think they lack a little bit of personality. They're classic, like, kind of whereas it's not a little bit of personality, which I don't mind. Because again, I'm not gonna be able to finish on Sunday. So what if you can see the darker side of me? No one will ever change this animal I have become.